Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 11, Lesson 77, and today we're tackling a comma question that trips up a lot of writers. When do you put a comma with an adverb clause? You already met adverb clauses back in Lesson 27, those little clauses that tell when, where, why, or how. Now we'll learn exactly where the comma belongs and where it doesn't. And along the way, we'll pick up one more elegant use of the comma, the antithetical phrase. Let's dig in. Here's the whole lesson in one idea. An adverb clause can either open a sentence or close it, and that position is what decides the comma. When the clause leads, when it comes first, before the main idea, you set it off with a comma. But when the clause trails, when it comes last, after the main idea, you usually use no comma at all. So say it with me and hold on to it. Comma when it leads, none when it trails. Everything else today is really just a variation on that one rule. Let's start with the clause that leads. When an adverb clause opens the sentence, we call it an introductory clause, and it always takes a comma after it. Watch. Before you sign that agreement, read it carefully. That opening piece, before you sign that agreement, is the introductory adverb clause. It sets the stage. Then comes the comma, marking the boundary, and after it, the main idea. Read it carefully. That little comma does real work. It shows the reader exactly where the opener ends and the main sentence begins, so nothing runs together. Now let me show you the rule in action with a single clause. First, the clause leads. When the storm passed, we went outside. Because that clause comes first, we follow it with a comma. Now watch me flip it around. We went outside when the storm passed. Same words, same clause, but now it trails at the end, and the comma is gone. When the clause comes last, no comma at all. Notice that the only thing that changed was the position of the clause. Move it to the front, you add a comma. Move it to the back, you drop it. Sometimes an adverb clause doesn't lead or trail. It jumps right into the middle of the sentence and interrupts it. When that happens, you fence it off with a pair of commas, one on each side. Look. Most people, if they eat too much, will get indigestion. The main idea is, most people will get indigestion. And right in the middle, we've dropped the clause, if they eat too much. Because that clause interrupts the flow, it needs a comma before it and a comma after it. Think of the two commas as little fences, keeping the interruption clearly separated on both sides. Now for that second use I promised you, the antithetical phrase. Antithetical just means opposing, and an antithetical phrase is a little phrase that qualifies or contrasts with what comes right before it. We set it off with commas. Listen. She, not Michael, should have been elected. That phrase, not Michael, pushes back against she. It draws a sharp contrast, so we wrap it in commas. Here's another. Sheep, unlike cows, don't damage a field. Unlike cows contrasts with sheep, and again, the commas set it apart. The signal is usually a word like not, unlike, or but. When you see one qualifying the idea before it, reach for your commas. Let's nail down the trailing clause, because this is where the comma sneaks in when it shouldn't. As a rule, when the adverb clause comes at the end, you skip the comma. Don't come to the show unless you really want to see it. See how it flows straight through? The clause comes last, so no comma is needed. Dropping one in there would actually be wrong. But there's one gentle exception. If the trailing clause feels like a parenthetical aside, an afterthought tacked on, you may add a comma to signal that pause. We can meet Friday, though I may be a little late. That though clause is more of an aside, so the comma is welcome. Save the comma for those clear afterthoughts. Otherwise, let the trailing clause run on without one. Let's boil the whole lesson into a quick check you can run every time. Step 1. Does the clause open the sentence? If it does, add a comma after it. Step 2. Does it interrupt the middle? Then fence it in with 2 commas, before and after. Step 3. Does it come at the end? Then usually you use no comma, unless it's a clear aside. And one more thing to keep in your back pocket. Always set off an antithetical contrast, a not, unlike, or but phrase with commas. Answer those questions, and your commas will land in exactly the right places. Let's practice. Time to practice. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence with a blank where a comma might go, and you decide whether one belongs there. Think about where the adverb clause sits. Pause the video and choose before I reveal each answer. Before the sun rose, blank, the hikers packed their tents. Where does the clause sit? Before the sun rose comes first. It opens the sentence. And a clause that leads always takes a comma. So the answer is comma. The dog barks blank whenever the mail arrives. This time the clause whenever the mail arrives comes at the end. It trails. And a trailing clause needs no comma. So the answer is no comma. Most students, blank, if they study steadily, blank, do well. Here, the clause drops right into the middle and interrupts the sentence. An interrupting clause has to be fenced off on both sides. So the answer is a pair of commas. Nice work. This second set brings in the antithetical phrase and a couple of trickier placements. Same idea. Read carefully. Decide where the commas belong, and pause before I reveal each answer. The winner was Dana, blank, not Priya. That last phrase, not Priya, contrasts with Dana. It's an antithetical phrase, and we always set those off with a comma. So the answer is comma. Cats, blank, unlike dogs, blank, rarely come when called. The phrase unlike dogs draws a contrast, and it sits right in the middle of the sentence. A contrast that interrupts like that gets a comma on each side. So the answer is a pair of commas. Although the price was high, blank, we bought the tickets. Where's the clause? Although the price was high leads off the sentence. It comes first. And a leading clause takes a comma. So the answer is comma. Let's gather up what we learned. When an adverb clause leads the sentence, set it off with a comma. When it trails at the end, you usually leave the comma out, unless it reads as a clear aside. When the clause interrupts the middle of the sentence, fence it in with a comma on each side. And remember that graceful extra tool, the antithetical phrase, a contrast built on a word like not, unlike, or but, which you always set off with commas. Keep that one rule at the center of it all. Comma when it leads, none when it trails. Nicely done. I'll see you in the next lesson.